2.5 years ago, I almost ended my life. I was majorly depressed, majorly anxious, majorly unfulfilled, without purpose in life, without direction, without a future. I saw no way out of my situation. I lived a life that I didn't like. The girl I was with left me. I was working a job at Taco Bell, which I hated. I didn't have a reason to live. I knew there had to be more for me in life, but I just didn't know how to find that, how to get that. I was lost, I was alone, I was miserable, I didn't want to be alive anymore. My entire childhood was full of depression, full of sadness, full of neglect and abuse. One late night after my shift at Taco Bell, I almost ended my life. I had a knife in my glove box and I took it out, and I was especially sad. I was sitting in my car, especially sad this night, listening to really dark, dark music. Music that is not good for your soul. And I put this knife, I took the sheath off of it, and I put it to my neck, and I almost did it. Instinctively, I almost did it. But then something stopped me from doing it. Something stopped me from pushing it through my neck. Something stopped me. And a voice called out to me and said, just one more day. And so I took it one more day at a time, and here I am, still alive to this day to tell the story. 2.5 years later, I am so happy to be alive. I'm not depressed. I have a purpose. I found my future wife, who I'm soon to be marrying. I am happy. I'm joyful. I don't have much anxiety anymore. I don't have too much stress. At least not the bad kind of stress. There is a good kind of stress. I went from this depression, this dark, dark depression, to finding life again. Not long after this attempt on my life, I started going to church with my best friend, and I didn't believe in God. I didn't believe in any of this, but he took me to church, and pretty soon I got kicked out and was homeless, living in my car, and I didn't have any purpose, I didn't have any direction in life, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't see a future for myself, and I don't know if I would have ended my life again. I don't know if I would have ended my life here, but I was very, very depressed, and I didn't know what to do. In a last-ditch effort, I called out to Jesus Christ because I thought maybe there's a chance that he's real. I put all my faith into this because I had nothing left, and all of a sudden, I felt a rush of peace, love, joy, contentment, and specifically, I realized that for a moment, I wasn't depressed anymore. The depression I had actually left me, and I felt love, I felt peace, I felt joy. I felt no external motivation. I just felt internal motivation. I felt good about myself inside. I felt content. I felt okay with myself. And I wondered, what caused this? What caused this depression to leave me? This depression that was so bad, this darkness that gloomed over me my entire life, what caused it to stop? What caused it to go away? What made it go away? I now realize the truth about why I am no longer depressed. And this truth is something that a lot of people might not be willing to accept, but it is truth. I do believe it is the reason why you're depressed. And that has to do with something spiritual. So if you want to click off right now, if you're not into that, then go ahead and click off. But I truly believe if you are depressed enough, you would stay watching this video because I think this could pertain to you. Something I noticed is that depression is an attribute of the devil. It is an attribute not of the natural order to life. Depression is not something we're naturally supposed to experience in life. And so, if you're depressed, then it's because there's something that is not natural. Now, the natural order to life comes from God. God is a natural way to life. God is all the good things, the peace, the love, the joy, the contentment, the innocence. So chasing God and his way of life and his attributes would, in theory, get rid of the depression, because depression isn't of God, right? So something I noticed is the closer I was to God, the less depressed I was. Now, yes, you don't directly need God to get rid of your depression. You can just go to the gym, you can just eat healthy, you can meditate, you can have a purpose in life, find your purpose, you can improve your mental health, your physical health. But something I notice is that when you have God, it's almost like you're going straight to the source for happiness, for peace, for love, for joy. So it feels a lot more authentic and it feels more existential. The thing is, we can chase improvement without God, but it still makes us feel some kind of existential depression, some kind of existential issue with our life. The way to overcome that is by chasing God and by having God in your life and by having a relationship with God. And how amazing that we actually get that opportunity to have a relationship with God. You might not know about this, but we actually get to have a relationship with God because of Jesus Christ. If you don't know the gospel, if you don't know Christianity, let me explain it for you really quickly, because nobody explained this to me when I was younger. Jesus Christ lived about 2,000 years ago. He had a ministry where he shared the word of God. That was the Old Testament, which was from God to the Israelites. And he's preached this word, but he also preached that he is the way, that he is the truth and the life, and that he is God in the flesh to come on this earth for humans to be able to relate to God and for the gap to be closed between God and humans, because there's a gap. God is perfect. We're not. We're fallen. That's just how we are. The devil has control over this world ever since Adam and Eve, and so darkness has won over us and over this world. And so ever since, there's been a bridge, there's been a gap between us and God, but Jesus was the bridge to that gap. Jesus was the bridge between God and man. Because he was 100% God and 100% man, we're able to relate to him and understand that he is perfect. And because he's perfect, we get to see that in God, and we get to see God in Jesus, and vice versa. And so Jesus died on the cross to be the blood sacrifice, a perfect blood sacrifice, because he didn't sin. There was no darkness in him. He was perfect. So his blood was perfect. So he took all the sins of the world, all the darkness that was in the world, and he took it on himself on the cross and died a painful death. And then he rose again 3 days later, which is only something that God can do, not man. We can't resurrect ourselves, but God did. He resurrected on the third day and showed himself to his disciples, and the disciples now preach the word that we know today, which is Jesus Christ. And so if we have a relationship with Jesus Christ, we can have a relationship with God. We can reach God through Jesus Christ. And let me tell you, when I cried out to Jesus Christ, I felt that peace, I felt that love, I felt that joy. It didn't last forever because I didn't follow him correctly. I didn't always follow him correctly. I didn't always pray to him. I didn't always have a relationship with him. I didn't always do the good habits that are of him. I didn't always live a life of him. But I promise you, when you do live a life of him, and when you do pray and have a relationship with him and just talk to him like he's your friend, I promise you, your life will get so much better. That depression, I guarantee, will go away. If you have true faith in this God, I guarantee that depression will go. So I hope this helps you, because it helped me. This message saved my life. And I really think it can help you if you just open up your heart to it. With that being said, I hope this video helps you. I love you all, and I'll see you all in the next video.